you let me take your picture. Bubba, look right here. Did I love him? Babe, look at him. Will you let me take your picture? I'll see you right here. Look, Bubba's with Santa. Do you want to hear what Bubba?
All right, everybody. I'm Jason Tully, the president of the Downtown Business Alliance, and it's an honor to be down here this evening to welcome y'all. We've got Santa Claus down here with Mrs. Claus in front of the Christmas tree. So if you have your little ones, please bring them down and visit with Santa. He'll be here for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then he's got to catch a ride in the parade. So I want to thank everyone for being here. We have a beautiful plaza. We're glad to have it. We want to thank Mark Maxwell for all he did to help us out in making this a reality. Our beautiful tree we have ready to go. So if we've got everybody, then what we're going to do is we're going to have us a countdown. And at the end of that countdown, this tree is going to light up. So if I can get everybody's help, we're going to start at 10 and we'll count it on down. So everybody ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's lit. Hey, we've got a lot going on down here. A lot of the stores are open, so if you want, the parade, I believe, is supposed to start 6:45 or 7 o'clock. There's plenty of time. We also have a tree contest. If you didn't notice, back here next to our memorial, there is a Christmas tree contest, and the funds from that are going to go to EMS is raising that to help with the crisis center. So every dollar that you put towards a tree will vote for that tree, and the winners will donate their trees to the families of the community. So there's 10 families that are going to get these trees in the community. So when you get a chance, go back here to the memorial and vote for your favorite Christmas tree. Again, we thank everybody for being down here with us, and we look forward to a great Christmas parade.
There we go.
And we got a whole
See if we can get one crying.
That's my Connie Bear. You're a good boy, aren't you, Connie Bear? Hang on.
Hey, look up here. Look up here.
All right. I'm going to grab you before you cry. There we go.
Good job, Hunter. Good job, buddy. Just enough time for the picture.
What do you tell her? Tell Mrs. Claus. Thank you.
56 degrees.
56, okay.
Humidity is 58%. Winds from the north at 12 miles an hour. Barometers at 30.28.
Well,
We are your official Wildcat and Lady Cat station, KSST 1230 AM Sulphur Springs. It's time for the lighted Christmas parade for 2019, sponsored by the Lions Club. Let's go to Celebration Plaza, where KSST's Don Julian will cover the parade. Don?
James Terry, thank you very much. And as we look from our vantage point here, as we're looking across the street at Alliance Bank, we're on Jefferson, just off of Gilmer here, and the first police vehicle is leading the parade and coming around the corner off of Church Street and heading our way, and we can hear the band right behind them. So the parade is underway. This is the 12th annual lighted Lions Club lighted Christmas parade. James Terry, who introduced me here tonight, he and I did the very first one back in 08. We were across the way, but right now we're looking at a very Natalie attired squad car that has lights aplenty. This is one time when I don't mind seeing those flashing police lights. And right behind that, we have a truck carrying the United States flag, followed by the Wildcats marching band. Let's see if we can pick up some of the music here from the Wildcats marching band. Wildcats marching band. Spencer Emmert, director. Blue Blazes drill team right behind. Coming by us here. Oh, lighted pom-poms. How nice. Christy McCullough. Clever one. It's quite dark here. They've just about turned out all the lights here. And there's Wally the Wildcat, cheerleader group. And then basically your big gap, our first big, huge gap. Now the cheerleaders have paused just to Doug's left. And as our first float comes around the corner. Oh, this one's got to be the Lions Club. It's got a huge King of the Jungle on there in the back. The ones sponsoring this here parade, Lions Club. As they're coming down the street now. Again, with that huge lion on the back. And they're lit well enough. They're smart to light themselves because, like we said, how dark it is. But you can actually see some people on this one. They are well lit. The Lions Club. Sulphur Springs. Probably be El Presidente or something up there at the top, you would think. So there's the Lions Club. Maybe they have them spaced out on purpose where everybody kind of gets their moment. And this is a beautiful float making its way around the corner. It's got some, look like some Christmas trees on there, or we'll be able to make it out a little bit better as it gets closer. But several items up there on the float, well lit. Of course, the drivers, don't want to tell the police or anything, but these drivers are driving without their lights on. They want to keep it dark too. I just hope they can see the road. Good luck, buddy, guys. But another very, very nice float here coming down the street. It is indeed a Christmas tree out in front. We've got some elves and other things riding on there, reindeer. Carriage House Rockerettes. That is a very nice float. And here comes one behind with some folks walking all around it here. Waving at the crowd as this one comes by. Everybody in uniform, and they've got one of those barrel trains. A bunch of kids enjoying the ride and the parade and that. And around the corner and coming our way, it's kind of like a red barn or something back there on the back. Kids sitting in front of it. Like a Christmas tree on there. in the back of the pickup truck that's pulling everything. Legacy Ag Credit. Christmas on the farm. Yeah, that's a little red farmhouse. Got all its lights on there. And behind them, waving at the crowd, I think people have gotten wise. They've started lighting themselves, which is good. We can actually see people this year. Al's Toy Barn with a big green dinosaur on there. They're a vehicle with lights everywhere. And that would be someplace called Star Country. I'm not sure where they are. I'll have to ask Doug. Oh, this looks like some royalty here waving at everybody coming by in a Jeep. Is that the Dairy Festival Queen, Doug? Hey, can't tell. It's too dark up there. Someone walking down the street in a costume. That'll be a reindeer costume, I would think. And another vehicle comes by us here. Got a Christmas tree in the back. A kid back there making sure it doesn't topple over, I'm sure. So we're seeing some good-looking floats out here tonight. A crowd enjoying this, and it is a huge crowd, as always, crowded in every space around the square. And some kids waving at us. Merry Christmas, they say. Here's somebody's car. It's got some nice lights on it. And a person inside waving. Now this truck is full of lights, pulling along a float. Got a Christmas tree on there. Looked like a carriage with horses going up and down. Boy, that is neat. And somebody's old pick-em-up truck. Looking good with some lights on the back. Looks like got a fireman or something in there. Waving to the crowd. That's a man named Dwayne Collins. And just able to make that curve up there out from church onto Jefferson Street here. Now they've got a fog light on or something up there, so they can see a little bit better. That truck hauling a float for us to take a look at. And this one coming by. The post office. Got a post office and a general store up there. Trinity Harvest float. Good job, Trinity Harvest. And this looks like a garbage truck, or a pick-em-up truck anyway. Maybe not a garbage truck. Oh, that's a Bell concrete truck. And maybe more than one. Yeah, that Bell is flashing Bell concrete truck with that big concrete apparatus on the back. He could stir us up a little bit if he wanted to. Could drop it off on Conley Street on his way out. This parade rerouted this year because Conley not quite ready for all of these vehicles. Here's a truck pulling a smaller display from behind, and some four-wheelers coming down the street. Santa Claus attire. Seems like a Santa in every one of these. Just a group of four-wheelers. We're coming down the street. American U.S. flag there waving. And then lots of lights on this next towing vehicle and folks in the back. That's Charles Humphreys for Constable. That's his float. And another vehicle coming down the way. Oh, blowing bubbles. Reminds me of Lawrence Welk and a 1 and a 2. They've got a little castle on there. Actually, that's rather than bubbles, that's snow flying there, pouring into the crowd. Got Minnie Mouse on the back. Almost got hit in the head with a snowflake. And the next vehicle making a turn at the corner. Watch that snow on the street there. Don't be spinning out. Oh, wow, this has got some lights on it. And it lights up every once in a while. That lead vehicle. Got a character on there in the back. Is that pizza guy? Don Lalo. Or Don Lalo. That Doug knows that one. Boy, I like that lead vehicle. And got Don himself in the back. That's a nice float. Here's a little car here. Got a Texas emblem on top, all in lights. Got some lights on it. It looks like one of those in-home nursing care cars. That's First Choice, I believe. Coming down the street. Nicely done. And another truck with lights on it. Pulling a green Christmas tree. And like a sleigh back there in the back. And another little four-wheeler. They've got, that's the Way Bible Church. And a four-wheeler right behind. That may be all of these may be a part of the church. And that's got a little Surrey with the Christmas lights on top. Another four-wheeler with lights on the front. Oh, and here's another concrete truck. These are quite popular this year. And just decked in lights with the concrete thing actually going around. I guess they got some business going on there. Stirring some up. Looks like it says Martin. I can peer through the darkness. I hear a siren. And this little vehicle has a little animal on the front. This is Keymaster Locksmith Service in here in our parade. And then another vehicle that just a very clever display of lights on this vehicle. Flashing in the front and on the top. Got a Lions Club logo on there. Oh, that's old Blue Santa. Good old Blue Santa. Help us fill the float, it says. Then some human pulled, got a little child in there in a small vehicle. And it looks like a four-wheeler with some flashing lights. It looks like some kind of officer there. Cannot make him out in the dark. There's a vehicle, four-wheeler with, or a car. We've got some people walking along behind, and they've got those things on the front that are lighting them up. Another small car. Got a sash on there. Somebody through the sunroof there waving at everybody. This is Central Baptist Church vehicle, followed by the Como-Picton High School War Eagle Band. Right now they've just got kind of a drum beat going on there. If they break into some song, we may listen to some of it, but right now they've got the march cadence. So the Como-Picton Band is here tonight. Breaking into Jingle Bells. a huge cross coming down the street on a float, pulled by another big truck. And got a bunch of kids on there. This is Joy to the World, Davis Street Baptist Church. Boy, they've got a nice float. And this one's got some kind of beastie on the back, in the back of the pickup bed here. Can't quite make out what kind of creature that is. It's got bug eyes, I'll tell you that. And another float being pulled along here. And people waving to the crowd. SSCP Express. All right. A truck with a horn that works. And that is Sanitation Solutions. I was talking about a garbage truck. Well, here is one. And boy, that's the nicest one I think I've seen. That one's pure white. Most of the ones I've seen are brown. Here's a Toyota vehicle that got its lights working. Got a big red cane on the front. And Santa Claus on the top of the next vehicle, the four-wheeler, making their way along. I guess they use the tail lights of the car in front to try to make sure they don't veer off the road into the darkness. And some Jeeps. Jeepers Creepers. The Jeeps are here. As we're beginning to see a few Jeeps here. And of course they're well decked out in all the Christmas lights. It's got them everywhere. Very, very well done. Has a series of Jeeps. I guess this is probably the Jeep Club, I would guess. We were quite prominent. I remember seeing them in the Dairy Festival parade. A reminder from that Jeep, keep Christ in Christmas. I think I heard James Terry say amen. There's a young lady atop of a Jeep waving at everyone here. And they got the roof open in there. I bet a little breezy in there. Oh, look, El Donkey on the front there of that vehicle. Again, waving to the crowd. North Texas Jeep Club. That one's got it across the windshield. Got a little snowman on the front. A little baby in a Santa Claus outfit. Isn't that cute? They've he was on display for just a moment. Now I think he's back with Daddy. Maybe. I don't know who's in there. More Jeeps coming down the road. One of the smaller ones I've seen. Kind of a mini Jeep. There was some kind of animule in that one. Now we're back to a big truck again. Fuller's. Oh, okay. A Fuller's vehicle. We may see a few of these. They usually are quite prominent in parades. And this one's got a little red vehicle on the back of that tow truck, and got reindeer there and Santa Claus sitting inside of a Christmas tree, looks like. Kind of a Salvador Dali approach, I guess. And another towing vehicle coming along with people on the back sitting on the bales of hay, waving at the crowd. Hope they're staying warm there on a cool night with about 55 degrees when we started, with a north wind about 12 miles an hour. All of a sudden, all of these vehicles testing out the horns for the crowd. Again, Fuller's. I think all of these perhaps have been Fuller's trucks. And another big one coming our way. Just a very nice use of lights. A lot of flashing lights and on those trucks. Another big vehicle making the turn there, and that's not easy in that big thing. Got a couple of canes on the front. Again, the flashing lights. So if anybody needs a tow home, they could probably give you one. Another Fuller's truck. Heavy rescue. Boy, that looks like a heavy rescue. Now we've got somebody that's doing a little cutting some donuts down there in a small vehicle of some sort. We'll get a closer look as it comes on down the street. Oh, now this is one that definitely has the old headlights on here. But the driver appears to be all over the road. They have to contact the DPS. With that, oh, this was a couple of crazy firemen, look like. Some fireman clowns. And they are all over the road from one barricade to the other, making their way down the street. And somebody walking along there, right down the parade route. One of our security policemen, I believe that is. And here's a big truck. Oh, these guys are just, they had to give Doug an encore, I guess. Come flashing by. And here's a big, big truck here. A horn that works. And another Fuller's truck. Full of blue lights and a lot of flashing lights. Boy, it seemed like a lot of floats this year. Maybe more than I recall from years past. Looks like a real good parade, Lions Club. Guys have got to be proud of it. I know they always are. They've really taken the ball and running with this concept. Originally dreamed up by Mark Maxwell. And when presented to the Lions Club, they really leaped at it. And another vehicle comes by. A kid, with a huge hand, waving at the crowd. And another vehicle here. This is a Code Blue. It looks like the Wildcats vehicle that Sulphur Springs High School given to the athletic department for their use in just this kind of thing. This float has a big snowman on there holding a cane. And so a lot of nice floats, and then this one has got a lot of people walking behind, getting their exercise. They can probably tell us how long this. They've got those smart devices that can tell them how many steps they've done. And another vehicle coming along the way. This looks like some kind of van that you would see in a hospital or something like that, or maybe a nursing home. It's going to be, how about Rock Creek Health and Rehabilitation? I thought so. Honking that horn. Look at this little vehicle. Looks like there's kind of an ice ceiling there. Kind of what it looks like to me. Like they got trapped in an ice storm. Beautiful lights on the side and in the front. They started going backwards there for a while. I bet the vehicle behind got a little bit nervous. Janet Martin Realty. A nice sign. Good sign, Janet. And this truck with lights on the front. Got a snowman in the back and a couple of kids waving. That snowman hadn't missed too many meals. Here's a big truck pulling along another float there. Very, very nice. Some Caterpillar vehicles on the back of that one. Another elderly pickup truck there. That one goes back a few years. It's like I got a Christmas tree in the back. There's some folks that are waving at the crowd. Oh, look at all the white lights on this one. That just covering that vehicle. Sister Baby's Women's Mobile Boutique. Boy, that's a beauty. I love those white lights on that one. And this next float being pulled by a truck here. Got some kids on there waving to everybody. And got their, some of them are lighted as well. Another four-wheeler with lights all over the place. Boy, the judges that choose the winners, this is going to be some tough decisions. Here's a Winnebago. Got lights everywhere. And in the back, there's a snowman. There's some kind of little house there. Christmas tree on the back with presents. Doug says this is a very dairy festival, and he's absolutely right. Rachel Bramlett. Now, this thing has not changed over the years very much, I don't think. Now, I'm sure they may have spiffed it up a little, but it pretty much looks the way I've seen it for years, and it's a beautiful, beautiful float. Rachel up there. Hi, Rachel. The Dairy Festival Queen. And here's a vehicle. They've got to have some fog lights on to try to make sure they stay on the road. Pulling a float along back behind. Got a snowman on there and some other signs of Christmas. Oh boy, these firefighter clowns are back at it again. They're going the wrong way against traffic. And look like they're harassing people in general. Just out of control here. Another four-wheeler comes by, waving to the crowd. Person inside. Here's the Salvation Army. Good folks. Doing the most good, they say. And boy, we're beginning to hear some sirens, James Terry. Again, waving to the crowd. And let's see if we can identify. I don't know if these are all Sulphur Springs. Oh, that's Como. So a Como fire truck. And we'll try to pick up where all these are from as we can find out. That one's Arbela. Arbela Fire Department. Boy, these guys know how to make some noise. They can put out fires and make noise. And, boy, too much flashing lights. I can't get a gander of where that truck is from. Oh, North Hopkins. That was North Hopkins. Finally, between flashes, I saw that. Now, this is a big bus-like thing here. Hopkins County EMS. That looks like some kind of mobile. That's a Rack G. So that's some kind of mobile hospital kind of looking thing, all very bus-like. There's another fire truck. That's Brinker. You know Brinker, they're going to be out and about, just like when the fire bell goes off. And here comes another vehicle down the street here. Got a little wreath on the front. Another fire truck. Santa's coming. That's Hopkins County Fire Department. It just came by us. Now we've got Santa Claus here. That's usually on a big Sulphur Springs truck. That's called, what is that called? I can't remember the exact name of that big truck. It's the one you can get people off the tops of these buildings if you need to. There's Santa up there. You know, that guy gets around. I've seen him all over town. And the Sulphur Springs fire truck. And a horse and horse rider coming down the street. Even the horsey's got lights on. The young lady looks like she is really enjoying herself on the back of that horse. Some flashing vehicles, and I have a feeling that this may be the last. The volunteers on patrol. It's got a car behind, but I think that's the first car that leaked through when they allowed the traffic to move again. And these people that need to walk across the street are going to do so. But that's going to wrap it up. A beautiful parade this year. A lot to it. And I'm very impressed with the way that people lit themselves a little bit better where they could be seen, and beautiful use of lights, and which is what this is all about. It's come a long way, James, from the parade we did 12 years ago when we were kind of just figuring it all out. Well, they look like everybody's gone to school and figured it all out. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. James will send it back to you, and that's going to conclude the 12th annual Lions Club Lighted Christmas Parade on the 6th day of December of 2019. And James Terry at the station, Doug Hastings shooting the video, and I'm Don Julian with, as I told everybody today, I'm going to do play-by-play for the lighted parade. Thanks for joining us, and so long, everybody.
Thanks, Don. This has been live coverage of the Lions Club Lighted Christmas Parade for 2019. This is KSST 1230 AM, Sulphur Springs, Texas. Now back to Good Time Oldies.